Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Chicago Bears opening week is here. We are back with this Wednesday's episode. Captains are named. C's will be back on the chest. Thank goodness Matt Eberflus announced them not too long ago. He will have 4 captains for sure for every single game, along with 1 honorary captain. We're going to get into that in just a couple minutes. Arlington Heights also has some very exciting news that the Chicago Bear fan, universe should be pumped about. Renderings have been released. Design plans overall look great, and the Chicago Bears are moving in the right direction there as well. And my thoughts on the unofficial depth chart that was released yesterday, Tuesday, September 6th. Looks good to me. I can't complain about it. Tevin Jenkins is starting. Larry Borum starting as well. But 2 quick announcements before we begin. Number 1, we are giving away a 8 by 24 inch framed Justin Fields replica signature. You can either enter by Twitter or Instagram. Links are below in the description. If you enter both, you have more chances of winning. Number 2, we are hosting a Chicago Bears versus Minnesota Vikings viewing party at Murphy's Bleachers in Wrigleyville on October 9th, 2022. Free beer while supplies last, pre-game beer money, and more. Make sure you RSVP to the Facebook link in the description so we have an idea of how many people are coming, but we're excited to see you at Murphy's. So, a lot has happened in the last 48 hours for the Chicago Bears, and we're here to give you all the updates. Captains, Arlington Heights, unofficial depth chart. To start, let's go into the captains. Matt Eberflus announced that he will have 4 captains every single game throughout the season. They will be the 4 for sure captains throughout the season and 1 honorary captain. Matt Eberflus announced those captains today at Hallis Hall. And the 4 are Justin Fields, Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn, Cody Whitehair. And they're going to have the C's back on the chest. So I'm sure you're already all looking for your jerseys with the C on the chest. It hasn't been in Chicago for over 5 years now. Excited to see it back on the jerseys. But this crew makes absolute sense. All leaders in their respected areas. Justin Fields is the quarterback of this team, clearly the leader of the offense. Roquan Smith, the heart and soul of the defense, hopefully for now and the future. Robert Quinn, the most experienced veteran with some of the best stats on the defense. And Cody Whitehair, who has been here through thick and thin. Well deserved by all 4. And like I said earlier, there is an honorary captain every single game. Week 1's David Montgomery. Also well deserved, entering the final year of his contract and one of the also heart and souls of the offense. Congrats to those guys. Captains are all in the thumbnail. Excited to hear about that too. And I'm so pumped about having the C back on the chest. Already looking on fake websites, fake jersey websites to make sure that I get my jersey as soon as possible. Let's go into Arlington Heights. The Chicago Bears announced that their first proposed design of Arlington Heights. As you can see in these photos, Arlington Heights is going to be at former Arlington racetrack in Arlington Heights, Illinois, about 25 miles outside the city. You can see in these renderings that overall there is a lot going on. It is going to be a literal city within a city. Everything looks really good so far. I love the whole layout, especially there's a lot of parking. There's a metro station. There's offices. And overall, there's just entertainment that you can go to throughout the year so you always feel your Chicago Bears fandom. To go back in time, the Chicago Bears back in September 2021 signed an agreement to buy the racetrack and secure the potential of having a future stadium there. The Bears announced they are currently still in the process, but there are conditions in place that need to be met in order to finalize the purchase, which the Bears filed with which is italicized in the entire letter. If I put the letter in the description, if you guys want to go read it. If we do close on the property, it is not guaranteed that they would develop it. The Bears also announced that they will not pursue any other opportunities unless it's Arlington Heights. If the Bears do go through with it, it will be the largest, or if not one of the largest developments in the state of Illinois' history. 328 acres will not only be the stadium, 326 acres. That's a lot. Soldier Field is on 9 acres right now, but it will have an entertainment district with restaurants, bars, hotels, potentially, I was reading a golf simulator, different interactive activities such as a museum, practice facilities, and a fan village. The project will bring economic benefit to the area, creating more than 48,000 jobs, $9.4 billion estimated cost for this area. I love the photos that I showed earlier. I love the idea. I am all in on going to Arlington Heights because I got to tell you, getting to Soldier Field, as great as it is being there, it is horrible to get to. And the Bears proposed plans to make Soldier Field work with a dome, but they missed the key component, seating capacity. The Chicago Bears currently have the second smallest seating capacity in the NFL with 61,500 seats. The only stadium smaller, Cleveland. No one's going to vacation there. Bears are also the third largest market team in the NFL. They need a stadium that is going to meet expectations. The other benefits that come with building this stadium, Super Bowl, Final Four, WWE, fight, overall big fights and events, concerts, you name it, it brings it all. Transportation is also great for the Arlington racetrack location. I can sell you guys all day on, but overall, I think that this is the right move for the Chicago Bears, as much as it hurts to not see that skyline in the southern or the northern end zone anymore. It's time for a new chapter. It's time for new opportunity. And that's what the Chicago Bears are doing. And speaking of opportunity, the unofficial depth chart. So here we are, about to enter week 4 days away from week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. And here is the unofficial Bears depth chart. Bet you guys couldn't read that. So I'm just going to list it out for you real quick for the starters, at least. At wide receiver 1, you have Darnell Mooney, followed by Velus Jones Jr. and Dante Pettis. Other wide receiver 1 is Aquemius St. Brown, followed by Byron Pringle. Left tackle is Braxton Jones. Left guard Cody Whitehair. Center Lucas Patrick. Right guard Tevin Jenkins. Right tackle Larry Borum. Tight end 1 Cole Kmet. Quarterback 1 Justin Fields. Running back 1 David Montgomery. Fullback Karari Blasingame. Pretty stacked offense, if you ask me, comparably to past seasons. There's just more confidence there. There's more experience. There's more depth. The Bears cannot get any worse than last year. I'm just going to put that out there. So this offense will be better. Justin Fields is getting better. And that is your offensive unofficial depth chart. Let's go to the defense. Defensive end Robert Quinn, followed by defensive tackle Justin Jones, followed by defensive tackle Angelo Blackson, followed by other starting defensive end Al-Qaeda Muhammad. Travis Gibson will not be a starter as of right now. Linebacker Nicholas Moreau, linebacker Roquan Smith, linebacker Matthew Adams, followed by the DBs Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Eddie Jackson, and Jaquan Brisker. Punter Trenton Gill, kicker Cairo Santos, long snapper Patrick Scales, holder Trenton Gill, kick return 1 Khalil Herbert, and punt return Velus Jones Jr. I like it. I think that a lot of the guys that are on the depth chart right now are currently in their right places. I'm super stoked about the offensive line. I really want to see what this offensive line does. I think that, Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus have taken this very seriously in order to make this work and put the best team out there. Couple quick call outs though. Alex Leatherwood recently picked up from the Las Vegas Raiders, who is the second string right tackle behind Larry Borum. I like this. Good depth. Guy needs a change of scenery and could be an impact later on in the future. Another one really quickly is that I want to call out is that Jack Sanborn is the second string linebacker behind Roquan Smith. There's no one behind Matt Adams, so Sanborn will likely fill in that spot as soon as possible. If someone were to get injured, hopefully not. Also a good rotation player. And then Armon Watts, the defensive tackle that we picked up from the Minnesota Vikings, is second string behind Justin Jones. Expect to see a lot of rotation, expect to see a lot of different schemes with this team, but the depth chart looks really good and I'm very excited about it. That's today's episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde. Thank you for joining us as always. Stay tuned for tomorrow as we have former Bears quarterback Eric Kramer come on to talk about what he thinks about Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Thanks for joining this episode and have a great day.